guys from the Thoughtful Gardener, welcome into my library. This is where I spend time in the cooler winter months to be able to enjoy gardening books. I have a pile here to go through with you today because we have read a lot of books already this season. I'm super lucky being a part of GardenCom, which is a professional garden communicators, that I'm able to preview a lot of garden books for garden writers. And so the first up is by Rish Gala. It's Vegetable Gardening Made Easy. I really like this book because the tips and tricks are really simple. One of the favorite ones that I do in my own garden is using food-grade diatomaceous earth. That's a very natural way to get rid of insects in your garden without harming your food. Did you realize that a lot of our produce, I just learned today, is actually killed off before it's sent to the store by spraying chemicals on it? You really got to get educated, folks. This is why we have gut issues. These chemicals are listed as antibiotics. So I'm always looking for natural ways that I can protect my food supply and still have a pleasant gardening experience. And diatomaceous earth, which is a tip from this book, is a really good one. So I really like this. I think it would be great for anybody who is into vegetable gardening. You might not know, but meadows are the #1 gardening trend for 2025. And Tiny and Wild is a fantastic book by Graham Laird, where you can build a small-scale meadow anywhere. So get ahead of the 25 trend. Look into this book if you're interested in replacing some of your lawn or maybe having a small meadow at your home. I think this is a great primer for how to get it done. If you're looking to create an edible garden, which is a huge trend right now, I think it's important for us to think about making sure we have enough food for ourselves and our community. And this is about a layered edible garden. So not only the flowers and herbs that you can eat, but also the climbing things that might be appropriate for your garden. Not only are these pictures absolutely stunning, but there's lots and lots of practical advice about how to start seeds and other tips and tricks that I think will be extremely helpful, as well as a garden guide in terms of plants you can plant in your landscape that will provide food for you and your wildlife. Growing an edible landscape. This is by the Rusted Garden. I don't know if you're familiar with Gary, but he has a fantastic series for learning how to do an edible landscape. And this is becoming more and more popular as people are turning to organic food and growing food that is sustainable in their own gardens, that is full of vitamins and minerals. I love this. They talk about getting rid of the lawn and adding food into your garden, and they show you practical ways of being able to fence that off. This is one of the challenges here in the Northeast. We have a huge deer presence, and so one of the things that you have to really consider if you're going to be doing vegetable gardening is how you're going to keep critters out of the garden, and fencing is a way to do that, and they've got some really good tips and tricks on what you should do. I just got this one, so I'm super excited. This is Organic Vegetable Gardening from the American Horticultural Society. Now, if you have ever heard me talk about the AHS, I love to buy their reciprocal garden pass because you can get into gardens all throughout North America for free or for a reduced cost. It's a great gift for your gardener. But to go along with this, I love this Organic Vegetable Garden Guide. Not only does it have things about how to source your seeds and what you need to do if you're going to be sowing seeds in the ground or starting seeds indoors, it has lots of organic produce protection tips of how to deal with pests and how to get a great harvest. So this is going to be a really fantastic addition to your garden. I also got Perennial Gardening from American Horticultural Society. This is a fantastic primer for natives and non-natives alike, for ground covers and things that you might be thinking about in your garden for next season. It's really an inspirational guide, but what I like is they have let you know if it's good for pollinators. They've allowed you to know what kind of soil and what kind of potential pests you might be encountering. So if you are dealing with rabbits, for example. But one of the favorites in here is the mully grass. I saw this at a garden recently and have started to incorporate that into my clients' gardens, and it is just pink perfection. It looks like a cloud of pink in the fall. So really a beautiful grass if you're looking to add grasses to your garden. I also received Simple Country Living. I think one of the things I have on my calendar and agenda for 2025 is really kind of a back to nature, back to your roots approach to living. Certainly, less complicated living is really the way to go. And I've gotten very interested in things like making my own salves and how to can, things that your grandmother probably did that you weren't paying attention, speaking for myself, how to do, and it tells you how to do that. There's a fantastic area as well about seed saving, and that's something that I really love to do. So I highly recommend this book if you're looking for a simplified way to grow your life. Now, I have to say, I saw Kelly's garden at the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society and got to tour with him as a Garden Com member. And I want to say, wow, a wow to him and the growers to be able to get things to bloom early in the season, very early in the season. And he has turned his experience of native and natural looking gardens into this incredibly beautiful and practical book. I absolutely love this book. I have already read it cover to cover, and I'm going to continue to read it again and again because there's so many pearls on native gardening design. So he is not a purist, and I'm fine with that. But he is incredibly inspirational in his whimsical designs, and this is going to be something you're absolutely going to return to time and time again. So I highly recommend Kelly's book. So I hope that these tips of potential gardening books to add to your library this season are inspirational. I hope you'll also consider buying these for your friends and family. One of the things that I always warn people about is if the power's out, that's when you need a book. Because the reality is you can't go to the internet and figure it out. So I like to have these books on my shelf. They're great how-tos, and I think you yourself will be so happy that you have these available that you can refer back to. Garden thoughtfully and take care.